Shalom. This is Brother Dabia from GMS Detroit. I would like to say all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who rule well. Shalom to the whole field elect out there. With that being said, I want to get to a quick lesson. Yeah. We know this. Hey, this has been an exciting week. It's been it's been a topsy-turvy, exciting week out here in Babylon the Great, man. First we had this stabbing to take place in the Carolinas, where you got this dreadhead Jake supposedly has stabbed. Well, we see the video. You see the video, so we can't say supposedly. But the only reason I say supposedly because we know we can't be ignorant of Satan's devices. We can't be ignorant of knowing how Esau work and how he get down. We know that Esau, this AI shit is very, very deceiving. You know what I'm saying? We know the devil, is the ultimate deceiver, right? And we know Esau is is the king of deceit. So nevertheless, with us knowing that, we got to filter this thing with with the knowledge of the Holy Scriptures, man, and we got to filter this with the with the Spirit. You know what I'm saying? We can't be fooled, by the devil. We can't be. We got to take this in and really deal with this very circumspectly. You know what I'm saying? So we know he have the power of technology. He can create stuff out of thin air now with this AI and stuff like this. And even though even if it is real, we know that he has, he can chemically induce Jake, and have Jake doing whatever. We've seen the movie Manchurian Candidate. We seen shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And we know this shit exists. We know once they didn't put it in the movie, they perfected it and then moved on to something other new. You know what I'm saying? So once you see that shit in the movie, it's that shit 20 years old. They done moved on to some other new technology and whatnot. So nevertheless, I want to get into this little video clip and then we'll go through some scriptures. So this is supposed to be the video of him talking to his sister after he committed this crime. Now you got to take this with a grain of salt too, because we already know that these phone calls, are monitored in the jail. They are monitored. You don't make a phone call out the jail without it being recorded, and they tell you that they're recording it. You know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, let's just listen to this supposed phone call and see what it say.
And the guy who unalived the lady out in Charlotte on the light rail line.
You said something in your body did what?
The material, put it like this, the material using my body to stab the lady.
And so she just got stabbed.
Yeah. That's not me. I'm talking about just for no reason. But since they did that, now they got to investigate the material my body is supposed to. Since they want to do all that, now they got to investigate.
She's from the Ukraine. She's from Russia, and they got a war. They had a war going on against the United States. So I'm just trying to understand, out of all people, why her?
It ain't. I don't have nothing. They just lashed out on her. That's what happened. They lashed out on her. Whoever was working the material, they lashed out on her.
And just like he said, they asses better investigate.
So yeah, he's saying that there's a material in his body that actually
unalived the lady out in Charlotte
this to
on the light rail line.
Hey, now that's wicked. He said the material in his body killed her, lashed out at the lady. So what material? Where could he get this material that's in his body? Could it come through the jab? You know what I'm saying? Could it come through the weed? Could it come through the GMOs? Where did the material come from? You know what I'm saying? If this is true, you know what I'm saying? And to me, when you listen to the conversation, if I was planning to make a conversation to fool the world, right? why would I say something ignorant in this, or why would I have a misfact in it? As far as she said that Ukraine went to war with America. No, Ukraine went to war with Russia. You know, so that just shows you that's a real dumb person. That ain't no person that's an educated person that's trying to create some type of another narrative of the story. You know, if that was an educated person that was trying to make a narrative, a different, direct a narrative a different type of way, why would they? I mean, wouldn't they come with, the truth? Would they come with better understanding of what's going on around them? This is just the ignorant nigga, that would say something like that. So it seemed like he was talking to a sister for real, Because, like I say, when she said that shit about America fighting them, they're in war with America. Ukraine is not in war with America. America is their ally, So it seemed like then for clout, she would record the nigga and put it out there. You know what I'm saying? When she talking to him, so that could possibly be true. You know what I'm saying? But let's examine what he said. He said the material they put in his body. You know what I'm saying? Could this nigga be an ex-soldier? You know what I'm saying? Well, stuff is coming out. Stuff is steady coming out. So nevertheless, hey, but when you see this happen, right? And we know, we see that happen, and we know they've been dealing with this thing called black fatigue. For the last month or two, this new phrase pops up, black fatigue, saying that the whole world is tired of niggas. Especially these motherfuckers in America. So the black fatigue, this incident, piled on top of the black fatigue is just like a powder keg, and this is just the spark. You know what I'm saying? This could be a spark to ignite that, ignite Esau Edom. You know what I'm saying? And you niggas think you want it with Esau Edom, but this is Esau Edom is the weapon, guns is his blessing. It's his art. It's what he's good at. And you niggas can't go to war with Esau Edom with the guns that he made and gave to you or sold you. It just don't make sense. Niggas, you do not have no factories that build guns. You know what I'm saying? You still, even in African countries, they still fighting with Kalashnikovs. What's those AKs? They still fighting with AKs. So they don't have gun manufacturing facilities. Because if they did, Esau would have been bombed. Esau, I don't think no African nation have a gun manufacturing facility. Not saying that they don't manufacture the guns in these Edomites factories and stuff like that. I'm just saying they don't have them I don't think they have them where they erect them themselves and go on to put their names on weapons and sell them worldwide. I don't know no African country that do that, to produce their own weapons, So nevertheless, this is the father of weaponry. This is his blessing. And how you think you're going to stand up against Esau? We can't, so we got to rely on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And so that's why I want to get these couple of scripts out. Just, hey man, we got our faith is in the Lord, and that's what we going to fight for us. We're not sitting up here going to gather up arms to fight Esau Edom, and no matter what he do, because we got the Lord here to fight for us. And how the Lord fought for us, even in this situation, what do? Then he had a fucking redneck go shoot Charlie in his motherfucking neck. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to tell the scales tipping one way, and then the Lord tipped the motherfuckers all the way back another way. You know what I'm saying? So you got the powder keg ready to go off, and the Lord just douse it with water with this Charlie situation. When they have an Edomite go up there and blast Charlie and blow his neck out. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord, this is his game, man. You gotta sit back and just marvel at how the Lord move the pieces around in this game, man. You know what I'm saying? So I sit back and look at that. I say, oh, okay. Esau, he big mad over this shit with this little white girl. And but then here come the Lord and put this chess move in effect. Charlie gets shot in his damn neck, and now attention. Now you can't just say that, hey, Jake the one out here doing all the killing, because look what just happened. See how the Lord just smoothed that over. That's beautiful, man. It's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful thing when you know it, right? So we're gonna get this Job 5, and we'll go read 12 and 13. Job 5, and 12 and 13. It says, "He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise." It says, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. So yeah, hey, the Lord, hey, He had disappointed the devices of the crafty. Hey, he'd think these motherfuckers, Esau and them, and all this technology and all this shit he doing, they think they're gonna do some shit one way. Then here come the Lord, even the scales out on the playing field for you, Jake. So just think how much more the Lord would do for us. You know what I'm saying? Just think of how much more He would do for us. You know what I'm saying? This is just an example of what He can do for us. He can do, He can create blocks and stumbling blocks for these people that's coming against His chosen. You know what I'm saying? That's why we need to all be all in, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got the devil that will pay other Israelites to not call on the right name, or not, to preach a false doctrine. You know what I'm saying? That's why Esau will pay that money out to them. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't want us in one. He don't want us in, under one banner. Standing strong on that name all together. You know what I'm saying? Like in different stories, the heathen raged against you when you got back in order. When you got back in order with your power, with your God, when they rebuilt the temple, they was going to rebuild the temples. The heathen raged. You know what I'm saying? And they don't think that these motherfuckers keeping a close watch on you, Jake. You know what I'm saying? The heathen love to see you riding down the street with a Christmas tree on top of your car, or you shopping for Easter suits and Easter baskets and shit. He love to see you putting pumpkins on your porches. The heathen love that shit. Esau love that shit to see you fucking would decorate your house with fucking Christmas lights, because he know you going against your God, and he know that's your power. You know. So yeah, hey man, this give you even more reason to lift up and honor and bless His name, man. This give you even more reason that the Lord sit up here and intercept these little things that Esau do to try to come against us. And here go the Lord sitting up there like, I got something. I got a better plan card. Bam! Hit Esau ass with a joker. You know what I'm saying? Hit him with the big joker and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys understand this shit with this stabbing. You gotta understand this shit. We just had a stabbing last year when Carmelo Anthony stabbed the white boy, stabbed him out, the bully. Come to find out he was a bully. You know what I'm saying? So then Esau Edom, you gotta understand this thing what you are in. You know what I'm saying? So you see the stabbing happen, then now another stabbing. I say, hey man, see you niggas, you the ones like to get on YouTube and all these social media apps with your guns hanging out your pocket and your pants hanging down and shit. You the one like to do this shit. But Esau, he kills in silence, man. This motherfucker is way more equipped for that job than your ass, Jake. You don't want it. You don't want it to poke this bear. This motherfucker. I seen after the Carlo Anthony incident. Then you start seeing Jakes being just hung in trees and shit. You know what I'm saying? They just finding the motherfucker Jake bound and gagged and hung in the fucking tree, and they say he killed himself. This motherfucker bound and gagged, but he killed himself. And that's what the authorities say. So you playing with a whole different beast, Jake. You can't kill with him. You can't match his killings for killing, because you're not gonna stoop as low as this motherfucker would do, man. And you're not gonna have the worldly. You're not gonna have the worldly help that this motherfucker will have, man. He runs the police stations. He runs the cameras. He runs all the technology, Jake. So you can't kill like this motherfucker killed. And so the only thing in our regards is that we do have Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai that will cover us. You know what I'm saying? That will, give us that spiritual edge against Esau Edom, just like we just seen in this case. You know, we got her get stabbed by a long head, the typical Jake that we see out here, the typical nigga that is giving off the black fatigue. We see this happen, right? And then here come, lo and behold, the Charlie incident in front of the whole world was which was made way more gruesome to me, if you would ask, if you would see, because if you see the blood squirting out his motherfucking neck and his body go limp, I said, woo wee. And then to let you know this is all orchestrated by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. It was both incidents where the neck was penetrated. You understand? So you can't, hey, Esau think he got his plans, but Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is always gonna win in the end, man. So that's why we gotta take and grasp our power, man. You know, and that's why I look at this situation. He did one thing, trying to stir up the bee's nest, and then the Lord became even the playing field with another incident to make these people like, oh shit, we can't just say Jake is the number one killer. Look what the fuck just happened. This motherfucker killed his own. Another Edomite killed this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? In the whitest city in the fuck America. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord is, hey man, you gotta step back and look at the grace, the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. That is beautiful how he just evened that thing out. Like, oh, okay, you think you about to come down on Jake? I know Jake ain't ready. I still need some of these niggas to repent. Okay, I ain't ready for this Jacob's trouble because I know Esau coming down like a sledgehammer on these niggas. And he said, all right, I'm gonna give him a little bit more time and throw this incident in there to back Esau up a little bit like that. So all the Edomites that's raging right now. Now they looking at this situation like, damn, we can't just say, Jake, these niggas out here killing. Look what the fuck just happened. You know? Hey, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, man. You know? So their hands cannot perform their enterprises, man. And you say, why this devil is doing this shit? We know why the devil is, why Esau Edom is doing this shit, man. And we go to Revelation 12:12 for the scripture. It reads, it says, this is Revelation 12 and verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth. It says, and of the sea. It says, the devil is come down onto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Yeah, Esau knows his time is running out, man. So he's putting out every little thing. And you guys see this thing about this woman being stabbed. Now all of a sudden, Elon Musk is paying motherfuckers to paint murals all over the fucking United States cities and shit. This bitch wasn't even from here. Nah, but she's the quintessential white, blonde hair, blue eyes bitch. You know what I'm saying? Now, she's gonna be praised and honored and glorified in front of the nations. Like, never forget. Well, motherfuckers need to paint a picture of a fucking Edomite shooting Charlie in his motherfucking neck. You know what I'm saying? These motherfucking Edomite, man. So I look at that, this paint. This shit has been thought out. This ain't just no random accident, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit has been thought out, man. This is not random. And then going back to the video, the nigga said, hey, now they got to investigate what's in my blood, what's in my body that's making me do this. Now they got to investigate. He told on these motherfuckers. So it could be some material candidate shit going on. It could be some shit with that jab going on. Ain't no telling what this, it could be shit with this fucking, this marijuana. It could be anything that's controlling these niggas' mind, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm going to speak on the situation about me. I know before I got in the truth, and I smoked a whole lot of weed, right? I smoked weed since I was fucking 16 years old. And I'm 52 now. Smoking weed all these fucking years, right? And so when I stopped, kind of like first stopped, when I stopped smoking weed, when I got my job, got into the truth a little bit, right? When I got into the truth and got my job and everything, I mean, not even before then, it's been times where a feeling would take over my body and it would be like, I remember I had a feeling to take over my body and it was like, it wanted me to kill everybody in my house. And I smoked some weed, and that feeling, that urge went over my body, and it was real strong. It was and it scared me. It was so strong, it scared me. It was like I was about to actually lose control. It was like I was about to actually lose control and do this thing. You know what I'm saying? I smoked some fucking weed. You know what I'm saying? And then, like for a long time, I would battle with that. You know, I would battle knowing in my mind, in my right mind, that I would never do nothing like that. You know, never. But it seemed like it was something tugging on me that wanted me to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like it was at a point in time where I was like, I didn't even want to smoke weed, or I would have to watch how much weed I smoked, because that fucking thought form would come back over my mind. You know, it would come into me like, you know what I'm saying, nigga, like, what if you just killed your fucking family or some shit like that? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm fucking tripping. Like, what the fuck going on? You know what I'm saying? And then another, like I say, when I first started working this job, like sometimes I would have to go up on the roof for different things, right? And for a long time, I didn't like to go on the roof, because when I go up there, it was something in my mind would click and be like, man, just jump off this motherfucker. Just jump off. Just run and jump off. And I would get this sensation over my body, like something was almost pushing me over to want to go do it. You know what I'm saying? So it took a long time after me being in the truth for those thoughts to go away from me. It took a long time. And then for that weed, that marijuana, to get out of my system to where my mind didn't think that way no more. And I give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that took that away from me, that spirit off of me, man. You know, because I didn't like to go up on that roof, man, because that same feeling would come over me, like just run and jump off this bitch. You know what I'm saying? And it's not funny, but it was something in that marijuana that would make me feel that way. You know what I'm saying? It was something in it. And even after I smoked it for so long, it took a long time for that shit to get out of my system. Because like I said, I was working at this job that I am, so-called in the beginning stages of the truth, and I would still have that. It wouldn't be as intense, but I would still have that feeling coming to my mind when I go up on that roof. You know what I'm saying? And I was just recently up there, and I kind of rejoiced because I didn't have that feeling no more. I kind of rejoiced. I was up on the roof, took some guy up there to look at some, because we was getting some leaks in one of the rooms, and I took a guy up there, took the company up there and whatnot, and I got up there and I walked around for a minute. I always stayed. I would always stay away from the edge, you know, the edge of the building and whatnot. But nevertheless, I got up there and I kind of rejoiced because I didn't have that feeling didn't take over my body no more. And I said, oh, wow. And I kind of just realized that, like, wow, you know. And I gave all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And I actually took something and just scratched the names, like, because it's a bunch of air conditioners and duct work up there. So I was just standing by one of the things, one of the like the metal duct, you know, ducting and stuff that blows the air into the building. So I was just standing right there, and it was like a little screw or something right there. And I just took the screw and I just scratched the names into the metal, you know, just a small, where nobody would even see it, you know, just something. It was just small. I just scratched Yahweh Shai in that on that piece of metal, you know. And like it wouldn't be where nobody would ever see it, you know. But yeah, I just thought about that, you know. So these things can happen, you know. These things can happen where, it could be these drugs, you know, drugs. It could be the fucking jab, you know. It could be these fucking there's a fucking Wi-Fi. You know, fucking telling what the shit could be, how the shit that Esau's working on, man. But we know Jacob's Trouble says that it's gonna be a time like never before, man. So you don't know what this motherfucker got cooking, man. Hey, but you know, the one thing he got cooking, it don't matter what he got cooking, because we got Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and the Lord gonna fight for us, man. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter what the fuck he got and what he come up with, man. So we got Job 4:7 says, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where was the righteous cut off. And yeah, I brought out this scripture just to let you know, in both of them deaths, the scriptures say who perished being innocent, man. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what this lady did. We don't know what she did, and she paying for some shit she did in another lifetime, or we don't know if she a war criminal. We just know the bitch is from Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. And I'm in my mind, I'm looking at this situation. Why would she get on the motherfucking a train full of niggas anyway? You know what I'm saying? Here it is, you little frail, blonde hair, blue eyed motherfucker, Edomite, and you go get on the train with niggas and put your back to niggas with headphones on, where you just thinking you in the motherfucking you that safe around a bunch of fucking niggas. I know you watch the fucking news all the time. You in America, you gotta be seeing something. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gotta be telling you something about what the fuck you being around these niggas. But she might have been one of them motherfuckers Edomites who love niggas. And just was waiting for one of them. That Jake could have sat by her and got her fucking number probably. You know what I'm saying? But still he did what he ultimately did, but he could have just as well patted on her fucking shoulder and said some slick shit to her and got her fucking number. And now she braiding that nigga dreads up or some shit, sitting, he's sitting between her legs and she braiding his fucking dreads and shit in the next week. And she pregnant. So it could have just went that way, you know what I'm saying? She could have been that one of the ones who love niggas. She could have been listening to some fucking Glorilla on her fucking on her phone. You know what I'm saying? So hey, but nevertheless, like I say, hey, the Lord gonna fight for us. We not worried about. We not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. We already know. You know how Esau get down, and all we gonna do is wait on the Lord. Our weapons of our warfare are not carnal, as the scriptures say. We gonna wait on the Lord. And that's what we gonna do. Because we know the Lord. Hey, the Lord can't nothing and no one fight better than what we got. You know what I'm saying? And that's why this heathen always want. This is why these motherfucker want. He works and spends billions of dollars to keep you away from that power. And we must remember our power. You know what I'm saying? We must remember our power. You know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, I just wanted to hit this situation, this subject real quick with what I think, what I thought, what actually, how I felt about the situation. So nevertheless, I hope you find some edification in the video. I would like to say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the elders, apostles, the GMS who rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect.